Who's that with my mom?
Well, that's the guy I've been worried about this whole time. Kingpin.
What's going on, everyone? It's Semp. Welcome back to the channel. And Hawkeye episode 5 ended with a bang, revealing to us that the King has finally returned. Wilson Fisk is here to stir up these street-level stories of the MCU, and I'm here to break down how all of this connects specifically to Echo, Daredevil, and of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you like Marvel, the MCU, comics, and everything in between, subscribe to the channel. But other than that, let's get into the video. Let's go. Kingpin showing up was rumored for a long time, but it's finally nice that we see him back, even if it's in 144p quality. I'm sure the Hawkeye finale will dive right into meeting him, clearing things up with Yelena and Clint, and of course providing and answering the necessary questions that tie up loose strings not only in this show, but mainly giving us an introduction into what to expect with the Echo show. Hawkeye is essentially the backbone of what the Echo show will be about, and if there is a Hawkeye season 2, of course that as well. In the comics, Echo finds out that it wasn't Daredevil who killed her father, but Kingpin, and while the MCU does make it a point that Clint did kill her father, it was more in line with Wilson Fisk being the man behind of why it happened. Kazi will of course play a large role as well if he makes it out of the finale. Kazi is also known as the Clown and was hired by many bosses, but none more important than Wilson Fisk himself, the Kingpin. We've already seen how he and Maya have had disagreements, and we now know he was Kingpin's number 2 man on the totem pole. Kazi was also likely the informant who was tipped off in sharing details regarding Maya's father, which led to his death. So the Echo show will deal with the fallout of that, and rumors are that it will be similar to Daredevil season 4, of course with Matt Murdock returning. Minor spoiler warnings, but in case you missed the Easter eggs, you can see Rogers the Musical in the background of the promo for No Way Home, meaning that Hawkeye and No Way Home will have some sort of overlap, or at least very close to each other within the universe's timeline. You can click the top right for a full explanation about that. But why this is important is because of the long-time rumor that Charlie Cox was showing up in No Way Home, which was confirmed this past week by Kevin Feige himself. It's unknown if Fisk has any ties to Spider-Man in the MCU yet, but this gives us a large clue that the Avengers Tower might have been bought by him. This is a mystery that fans have been hoping to unravel for a while now, and we might be able to expect it in the finale for Hawkeye. It's either the Baxter Building, home to the Fantastic Four, and Far From Home gave us a clue about that. It could be the MCU's version of Osborn buying the tower, or it was Wilson Fisk all along. Back to the Echo show though, I'm sure a lot of you have questions on how they might tie this into the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, and so this can work a few ways. Number 1, it's canon in the same way that the Incredible Hulk is. Of course it's actually canon, but the universe just moves on acting like Edward Norton didn't change into Mark Ruffalo. Number 2, nothing changes at all, and it's a near direct continuation with some stuff. Of course Feige would pick and choose what he would want to keep from the Netflix show. Or number 3, they will have a history, and we as the audience would know that, and small hints and Easter eggs would of course be thrown at us, but it's essentially a revival of that Daredevil within a new form. Not essentially a full continuation, but not dropping of what we had already seen. I think this last option is the most plausible case for what is about to happen. There will be known Easter eggs and of course history, but not fully explained outright once again. They will use Echo as the lead to guide us through this relationship with Fisk, and being the mediator between him and Daredevil, depending on, of course, where and how brutal they take the storyline. Now, as for the Hawkeye finale, a big question now is where do Val, Jack Duquesne, and Eleanor Bishop fit into all of this? I'm still on the fence about Jack and can't tell whether he's being played or playing everyone else. He's definitely shady though, and of course is this swordsman who was necessarily not bad in the comics. He actually mentored Clint, so I think he has some past ties to Clint Barton in the MCU, even if it's just a Ronin mantle name. Eleanor of course is a direct disciple and works with Kingpin, and is either fooling Kate, or she likely just took Jack out of the picture because he was too sloppy and almost gave away valuable information about their plan. This begs the question, did Kate's father ever die? And the answer to that might be no. It was an off-screen death that had zero explanation to it, so they might come back to this. Being that they were in financial trouble though, if you remember in the first scene, he could have used the Battle of New York to fake his death and save his family. Then Eleanor would end up taking a job under Kingpin to regain financial stability. Who knows if it was a trade-off or what, but if true, Kingpin definitely was a part in it, and if so, it was a very elaborate plan. Did Eleanor have a part in his disappearance? Is it because of Kingpin? We'll have to find out. Another long-time rumor and theory though is that Eleanor is actually Madame Masque. I'll talk about this more after the finale, but I could definitely see this being true and would go in line with something that the MCU would choose to do. Madame Masque was a gold medal looking plate mask on her face because it was severely burned by chemicals. Unlikely, but a quick thought, if they are going this route, I could see how she gets involved in this final battle, and with all these trick arrows that are being made, it's possible that Clint or Kate hit her with a chemical explosive arrow, damaging her face and making her want to wear a mask. And then of course there's Val, who seems to be the most mysterious player in all of this. We do find out though that Yelena was hired by Eleanor, which means that Val has to have some sort of connections to Eleanor and maybe even Kingpin. I theorize that Kingpin might be the Norman Osborn replacement for wanting to set up a Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers team, since it's unknown if the MCU can even use Osborn. Of course, that goes back again to who bought the Avengers Tower, and even Tom Holland said in an interview he knows who did, so maybe this is all connected or related to Spider-Man in some sort of way. Either way though, the finale should be really interesting, so post all your theories for Hawkeye in the comments below, and who do you think bought the Avengers Tower? All my Spider-Man No Way Home videos will be up soon, including the review. Follow me on Twitter at AnotherMarvelG for all news and updates. Drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I just want to say thank you. I'm another Marvel guy, and I'll catch y'all on a blip.